the Heart Festival. You know, a big part of the New Brunswick Heart Festival is making sure that we have visual art, right? And I think we increased that this year, I think. And I wanted to get feedback from everyone who was able to attend or, you know, heard about the festival and what your feedback was. Could be general thoughts on the festival as well as we continue to expand and grow and figure things out and, you know, how we can do better. One thing I will add is so the participation of the students, the New Brunswick Public School students, has grown on the volunteer side, right? They're very identifiable with their volunteer t-shirts, right? And they do all sorts of different things at the festival. And one thing we want to do for next year, if we can, is have them have their art, their physical art. We've had like their art on display through marquee messages and maybe, you know, other things, but not physically on display. And so we were talking with public schools about them doing their own little booth, you know. Now they couldn't sell their art, but like them selling their art, you know, but they can do a fundraiser. They can do where their art is fundraising for an event. It's or a program that they'd like to do, you know, in the future or something like that. So I thought that was really interesting. That could be a really interesting addition for next year's Heart Festival. Um, you know, another layer for the students to be involved. Thoughts on that?
Sounds great. I really like to see them identify with their t-shirts and walking around, so it's easier to notice when they're not working. I mean, I could see, I saw Sarah, I think also always looking for them, and I mean they were pretty involved. It's good
Yeah.
to. It's always it's usually the same kids, right? So it's we're getting to know them.
Right. And there's definitely something to be said. Like you know, they come to an event and then they want to come to the next one. They want to volunteer to the next one that, you know, so yeah. Um, yeah. Oh, oh yes. Thank you, Dan. Yes, I did want to add, yeah. Yes. I do have that. I was gonna pop that in. Um, I know she's having fundraising endorsed at um like a fundraiser. I don't know. That's a good question. Dan's note in the chat says, is there any issues with fundraising um endorsed at a city sponsored event?
Can you talk a little bit more about that, Dan? What do you mean?
Just double checking that there's no issue with us endorsing fundraising at events that are sponsored by the city, because that's come up before in the past.
So this one is essentially, well, mainly if you're a part of a nonprofit, you are able to, if the students, they're able to fundraise for an event for them. Like we wouldn't do
We
any
wouldn't bet, yeah.
transactions for them. So it'd be like a school, like they would be hosting it. That's fine. It's not necessarily it's city endorsed, but it's not city sponsored per se. Does that make sense to you?
Yep, thank you.
Who's that? Okay.
Hi, Cassandra.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
And
Cassandra.
we have to be specifically clear. Let's clarify, specifically clear. There's no hand transaction with us, whether it's nonprofit, whether it's, you know, so this is all through the school. They would do their own through the administration, especially. And everything has to be approved by the Board of Education, of course, before anything else happens.
Any other?
Thank you.
So also to end that too, it's not like they can do a pop-up lemonade stand as well during this event. It has to be clear and everything has to be approved in writing and approved by the Board of Education.
Cassandra, we were just talking about the Heart Festival, and in chatting with Darla, we were talking about participation in the students for the students next year, selling their work, but as a fundraiser, where they can fundraise for a program or an event that they would like to do. It wouldn't be funds for them. It'd be, so that's how we could actually get them to have their art physically at the Heart Festival.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, Cassandra, you're right in time because I put Windows of Understanding 2026. Sorry, I'm way ahead. 2025. My agenda is way off. I will adjust and send again. Apparently this afternoon I am all over the place, so I will adjust this right now. But if you want to talk about 2025 and then 2026 if you want, but I'll hit mute and let you chat about where we're at with that.
Sure, very forward thinking, Ellie. So Windows of Understanding will continue this year. 2025 is season 8. I guess speaking in Netflix kind of terms, we'll be rolling into season 8 with a focus on youth participation. And so the way that we are conceptualizing this youth takeover is in ways that engage young artists as collectives. So we are in the early stages of planning and of identifying community partners who specifically work with youth. For example, in New Brunswick, organizations potentially like the Girl Scouts, the Civic League, the National Art Honor Society from the high school, and thinking about ways to partner them with organizations as we would normally employ in that one-to-one model, the individual artist with an organization, so that these youth can better understand the ways that these organizations are modeling solutions to the issues being faced in their communities. And the themes this year are climate change and health and wellness, which is quite a big umbrella that gives them some latitude to identify the direction that they'll want to go in. Our organizational roster is still in formation, and we're close to finalizing who will be asking on the youth side. But that is the direction and the shape that this is taken. So we're very excited to pilot this in the coming year. And also you might be wondering, where do the public schools fall in all of this? And they're continue to be an essential part, but it's through Day of Understanding. That would be an activation on a single day. That work is concentrated in the hallways of the school as galleries. And this would be open in K-12 in the entire New Brunswick district, would be invited to participate. But we are very mindful that we're very mindful of the capacity of our public school teachers. And we don't want to give them yet one more thing to have on their plate. We're trying to think about ways that we can offer them the opportunity to participate in ways that are manageable and in ways that kind of tie into their existing curricular priorities, or think about other ways that we can support them with classroom guides, talking like resources for discussion, etc. So we will also be having offsite satellite exhibitions in the local libraries in municipalities, like we'll be securing libraries like Highland Park, hopefully New Brunswick, Dr. Bell.
Well, come on, you even have to ask.
So we do have to ask though, but Highland Park, New Brunswick, South Plainfield, Woodbridge, to give a venue, a public venue where these students in the public schools could then bring their families and show their work that is dedicated to these themes. So I think that's all I've got for now, but if any of you have questions or concerns or ideas, please feel free to send them our way.
So there's no more
just-
windows. I'm sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, have you already started to reach out to those libraries, or is that coming?
It's coming.
Okay, because talk to me about the I mean, I know everybody, so I might be able to facilitate.
Thank you so much. That'd be really, really helpful.
And Claudio, to your point, yes, there still will be windows.
Okay.
We still have the real estate essentially in New Brunswick that are excited to host the students. Do I sound like a robot? My internet is going in and out. The Performing Arts Center is in,
Great.
the city center is in, so we'll have more to tell you soon.
There's some sort of jazz festival being announced here
there's a-
surreptitiously.
Just to say one quick thing to your point, Claudio, because of the increased facilitation that working with youth collectives will require, we're actually scaling down the number of activations, but trying to make them bigger.
I see.
So we're talking about between 2 and 4 activations per municipality, as opposed to us having as many as maybe 5
Mm-hmm.
this years, because this is going to be a lift to facilitate.
Excellent. Excellent.
Right. All right. So the tree lighting, which I think is called something else now, right? Do we call it Winter Wonderland? What? I haven't been in any meetings lately, Tracy. Do you know what we're?
Well, right now they're in the midst of trying to revise that, literally revise it right now.
Okay.
The formal tree lighting will be on Thursday, December 5th, as opposed to the Friday. Excuse me. There still will be a student presence that's also being revised, but it's going to look totally different. Monument Square is going to be adorned with these huge lights, like 4-foot bulbs around Monument Square. There'll still be a stage. There'll
Mhm.
still be entertainment. So more news coming soon.
So you said it's December 5th, not
Yes,
6th.
yes.
Wow, that changed. That's like, wow, that changes it at all. Ah.
So the one thing I can confirm that they are, well, that they will still bring back the tree lighting of, Santa and ice skating rink. If, as soon as the vendor is confirmed, the ice skating rink will be free on Thursday, and then there will be, the rink will be up through Sunday.
Okay.
That's free.
So
on Friday, on Thursday.
is there room for us to participate in some way with part of me was, we've talked in the past about doing something for the kids or something. Do you think there's room for us to have a table and to do something?
I'm not sure,
Okay.
because I'm
So
not
it's a-
on that formal committee. However, there is the gingerbread competition is coming back, so perhaps we can participate in that way. As the Arts Council, they are looking into ways the schools can participate in that too.
Okay. Okay. So would you recommend just reaching out to Pam and checking in?
Yes, let's reach
Yeah.
out to Pam and see.
Okay. So I'll do a little check-in with Pam. Cool.
So the only thing confirmed is December 5th.
Okay. Right.
Excuse me.
All right. Cool. The next thing I had on the agenda is a letter we received. I put it in the chat. I'm actually, my intern's leaving, so I'm gonna go make sure she has my keys. So I have to go grab my keys. But if everybody wants to read the letter, it's in the chat, and then we'll chat about the letter.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Dan, since you were on this email, do you want to say anything about the project? Oh, I gotta, yeah, just unmute.
Oh, here I am. Yeah, so we've been working with Rutgers University's Department of American Studies for a few years now. We've been researching and conducting oral histories, trying to respond to and understand the history of the district split from 1973 and the creation of North Brunswick Township High School and North Brunswick Township District High School District in 1974. And so we've done in-school work already at North Brunswick Township and created a mural over there that'll get an unveiling next Tuesday. And we're planning on doing in-school after-school residencies with the middle school in New Brunswick this fall. And there is interest in installing a sister mural to the North Brunswick one in New Brunswick in a way that is commemorative of the history in a place-based way. And the original high school in New Brunswick is the current location of the middle school. So in considering wall space opportunities for a mural, the best opportunity is directly across the street at a Memorial Stadium on the wall that's on Joyce Kilmer Avenue. And so the question to the Arts Council is, it's city property. Can we envision a building like that being used in some way to accommodate that kind of history, that kind of storytelling, particularly if we're integrating the students from the school in terms of determining their own narratives. The artist Albertus Joseph has done some really incredible portraiture work over at North Brunswick Township High School, and we're excited for the mural that he'd be able to bring to New Brunswick as well, and sort of celebrating our current student community, but also bringing some attention back to the history that got us here.
Do you know how the separation of the schools happened? Like, what's the social context of the whole thing? Was that in the middle of the people moving to the suburbs, or what's? I mean, do you know, Dr. Bob?
Well, I can comment only secondhand because one of my board members, Mrs. Claflin, her husband was on the board at the time. And it was not a pretty sight.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
And she had many comments about David Harris and some of the things he did. It was interesting to hear.
Wow.
Unhappily, or happily, I did not write any of it down. But it was not a pleasant time in New Jersey. It was not a pleasant time in New Brunswick.
Okay.
So
That
that's
should be
what I can say about it.
Right. I think those details are important when it comes to design, right? The imagery of the mural.
Right, and so the district split was a direct result of the summers of racial unrest in '67 and '69, and it changed the dynamic in the schools as a result of it. If you don't know, what happened was the middle school and elementary schools for the local suburbs would feed all of their students to New Brunswick High School as the single high school in the local area. And because the conditions changed in the high school, families in the suburbs decided that it was time to remove their students from New Brunswick's public schools. And it is a history, like Bob said, it's not a pleasant one. It's tied into all institutions in New Brunswick. I know that the attorneys that argued the case on behalf of North Brunswick's families went to my synagogue. And I tried like help to get an interview with the partners, but the attorney who argued that case passed away. But our intention through this project is less about focusing on the history and more celebrating the diversity and the experience of the current students. So for example, North Brunswick is not, it's not a white district anymore. And so you have a community there that of students that wants to acknowledge the past but still celebrate the present and make sure that that history isn't lost, but look towards the kind of reality that they want. We're looking at doing similar work in New Brunswick Middle School, where we're talking about the history and like making sure that there is historical awareness of what happened in the city, but then using art intervention to strengthen that local identity and sort of have a better context as to how we got here.
Great.
Questions?
I apologize. I lost the letter that was up when my computer crashed, but is the Dan, is it both schools working on the project or just New Brunswick?
North Brunswick already had their residency in the spring, and we're setting up in New Brunswick for the fall.
I see. Thanks.
And then we're looking to do a joint celebration once both projects are finished.
Got it.
Dan, I apologize. I think the word celebration might be throwing me off a little bit. Could you describe a little bit about what the mural looks like on the North Brunswick side and would it look similar in the New Brunswick side?
Yeah, I can share references to the renderings. Give me 1 second. I have to run back up to my computer. 1 sec. Essentially, the artist Albertus leans heavily into portraiture, and he does a really lovely job of it. Oh, you don't actually have it on my phone. Let me see if I can share it from here. It's a 90-foot long mural in North Brunswick. Let's see if I can share it from this. You know, I can send it via an email if I can't send it directly. Let me try from my computer. Sorry, Petra, can you say more about the word I used, celebration, there?
I'm sure it's not the case. It's just when I hear celebration, we're not celebrating like white flight, right?
No. I literally meant the celebrating the work of the students, like just like the culminating kind of event.
Got it. Okay.
90-foot mural of portraits then?
I'm sorry?
Is a 90-foot mural of all portraits?
90 feet of portraits, yeah.
90 feet of portraits. So how many portraits are there?
Oh, here's some examples. I don't know the total number offhand.
Wow. Big job.
But the intent, the sort of the desire of the students in North Brunswick was they did want to capture the history or acknowledge the history, but also they wanted to celebrate the diversity of the student community today.
I see.
All right, so let me see if I can send this from my phone. Kelly, I'm gonna email this to you if you
Okay.
can help me.
Yep.
Hopefully that goes through.
Yeah.
Do they come through?
Not yet, no.
Okay, I just airdropped them to my computer so that I can do that from here.
Oh, here you go. I got them.
Okay, great.
So let me,
I just sent them also.
okay, cool. All right. Share. Oh, that's not right. Okay, can everyone see? Nope, you can't see. All right, there we go.
Oh, okay,
Here we go. Wow.
yeah.
And how long did this take?
It took him a few weeks with some student volunteers.
This seems to be spray though, right?
Yeah, there's hand painting, and then also what they did is they because this one is an indoor mural, they actually covered the windows and put plastic over the ends of the hallway so they could contain the aerosol.
Wow.
And use breathing gas masks.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of aerosol in that hole. Beautiful.
Wow.
So the intention would be to bring, if everyone was amenable to it, the intention would be to bring similar style, similar intentionality to a mural directly across from the middle school as well.
Why wouldn't you do it in the school like this one is?
That's actually a grant issue. Since it's through a county grant, it has to be in a public location.
Is there a reason why there's no murals on the outside of that? And most of the murals, they are painted like on canvas or some sort of materials adhered to the wall. Michael?
I think they're just holding on to that space for something.
Somewhat?
Maybe they have a plan and, down the road. And so they haven't, because it's a very, big space. And
Like a jumbotron?
Well, I don't,
So
well, it would make no sense to have a jumbotron on the
Spanish soap
outside.
operas to the neighborhood.
But I also think that they don't want to have a political, any sort of political statement on the stadium.
Oh,
I don't think this is a political statement.
right. Like, how are those pictures political?
I'm sure you know, have it sent in and see where, you know, it goes with the city.
Because we can only recommend, right?
We can't, we're only advisory, so we're only recommending. You know, we don't make that decision, you know, if you want to use city property.
Just a note, is the stadium city property or joint city school district property?
That's a good question, Bob. I kind of feel like it's the cities, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Dan,
Everything okay? It's my
Yeah, we're
computer.
we're thinking.
Okay.
We're thinking. This is the
Okay.
thinking.
Dan, can you just say a quick word about the timeline for this? You mentioned New Brunswick in the fall, but if it's meant to be outdoor, I have a guest assistant here, sorry. If it's meant to be outdoors, is the plan to defer that, or can they, because I imagine they'd have a hard time painting in the winter, like at the end of the fall term. Would you be executing on it at the end of the school year, or?
Well, we're planning on doing the programming in school early this fall, and the idea would be to install before it gets too cold for aerosols, like the end of November kind of thing.
I see. So similarly, it'd be like Claudia was mentioning, on some kind of panel or some kind of surface that's then mounted.
No,
of,
no, the mural that's in North Brunswick is painted directly on the wall, and we would be looking to do something similar on Memorial Stadium's wall.
So we wouldn't have any say about the location, right? That's what's happening right now. The location has to be approved, but we'd be looking at the actual proposed mural.
I think it's both questions. I think is the Arts Council interested in supporting this mural in the city, and then also this mural at that requested
Got
location.
it, like an additional, got it.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I'm trying to picture which wall of the stadium is this on? The outside wall facing Gilmer?
Yeah, just the wall that's literally parallel to Joyce Kilmer Avenue.
So actually, right?
Wow.
And I'm not saying it needs to be the entire wall either. That can be compromised, of course, if it's just a section.
But it seems, I mean, I would try to find out. Michael is not giving us all the information. I would try to find out what is it that's going to happen there in the future. Because you don't want this mural to go up and then to be painted over or destroyed or the wall taken down or whatever.
And does it have to be on the actual surface? Can it be on a panel that could be moved around?
No, it would have to be right directly adhered to the
But
wall.
if it's the same size of the other one, it's going to be a whole lot of panels.
So you're envisioning this almost like a companion piece or a bridge?
Yeah, we were looking at it as a sibling piece to the North Brunswick one, so that the students for both schools would be able to have that dialogue piece
Mm-hmm.
between each
But
other
how would the New Brunswick kids see the North Brunswick one?
through programming.
I see like tours and all sorts of activities proposed at the end of the letter. But
Yep.
so the site is because of the historical connection to both schools, right?
Right.
So if it happens in the hallways of the new Brunswick High School, then we'll lose that connection.
Right. And then also, Claudia, just we're just restricted on the kind of location for it. It has to be a public location. It can't be inside a school.
Okay. Okay.
So you'd be looking for like an arts council letter saying we back this project?
Yeah, that would be terrific, actually.
What is everybody?
I think it would be helpful. I see, Dan, that you had circulated us by email. I wonder if we could take some time, because I feel like everybody's kind of thinking about this in like from several like perspectives and from several like vantage points. But I think it would be helpful just to kind of take some time with it and review the material that Dan circulated. And maybe if we set, like a deadline, like a short-term deadline that we can get back to you by. Dan, like what is your timeline to move forward? What's helpful?
I think any opportunity to move past deliberation would be helpful at this point.
Then I
Yeah.
wonder if the restrictions that we're feeling that are on that stadium wall are the same if we change the mural to the walls of the gym right across the street, a huge brick wall, which is not 90 feet long, but it's maybe what, like 50, 75 feet tall.
I mean, Claudia, I think if we had the opportunity to do this mural on the school itself, that would be a terrific compromise. I think the question is whether or not the district is open to having a mural in one of their buildings.
I see.
So sounds like we need some time.
And also, I think it'd be helpful to have Jennifer's perspective as well. If she's not on the meeting, I think that would be really helpful.
Yeah, she's been really instrumental in supporting the curriculum work that we're doing in New Brunswick.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So everyone has the letter and now the images from North Brunswick, right? And in the letter is links to the location, the wall I just pulled up. So I'll circle back to everyone this Thursday. Give you
Okay, yeah.
48 hours to think it over.
I just want to flag up front that I would have to abstain from this since this is to the city.
Yeah, I'm gonna abstain on this as well.
Okay.
Kelly, do you mind just resending me by email
Oh yeah, I just sent it to the whole group, the letter. Yes. So it's after Dan's email with the attachments.
Oh, you followed up with it. Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Tracy, do you want to read off the events? And probably
Kelly,
add more? Yep.
before we go to events,
Okay.
I had the other thing I put in the chat was I wasn't sure if it was covered last meeting about whether or not the Arts Council is required to approve repairs to murals that have already been approved.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Dan, that was more than a repair.
I mean, it became it eventually, but that's not what the application was.
Yeah, but when you changed, you were adding on to the mural a substantial piece, which isn't doing repair. It's doing something that should be approved by the council before a paint, a mural's done.
So yes, so the artist changed a father with their son in a Hot Wheels because it got to a hummingbird because the wall was damaged. But that wasn't the application. The application was just the engineering application was just a repair.
What is the mural in question, guys?
The one on West Kilmer, beautiful one right by the post office.
Across from Walgreens.
Okay. Okay.
It was
one.
So I guess just to give some context, we just did a simple repair request with engineering because we had done it last year and I think the year before to add clear coat, and we couldn't get approval to do a sidewalk obstruction because what came back from engineering is that we needed to get approval again from the Arts Council to do a repair on a mural that had already been approved. And I think the only change that's there now is a hummingbird replaced a damaged person, a damaged father and child, because the landlord had stripped out a bunch of the wall. Or not the landlord, the person who rents the store. So my question just generally is like, does the Arts Council need to approve repairs of murals that have already been approved?
I think if
that's my question.
Repair, Dan, that's fine. But if you're changing something, then we should be seeing what's being changed, regardless whether you're saying it was just a hummingbird or a butterfly. It's a change in the mural, and as the Arts Council, that's one of our roles.
Okay.
I'd have to concur with Michael because the problem is repair and change can blend in as happened here. And I think it's safer all around if you just assume that it has to be approved.
Bob, I agree with you, and I agree with you, Mike, also that if there's substantial changes to a mural, like through a repair process, that should be flagged. I'm not asking that question because that's not what got flagged through engineering. I'm asking if a repair needs to be approved by the Arts Council. And if we say yes, that's fine. I just need to know because these processes come up for me. So I need to know what I need to be doing so I do this correctly for the future.
I
Well,
would,
I think if you're not changing anything and you're just staying exactly as the mural is, I mean, I don't see that it would be an issue for the Arts Council, but like any sort of change, I think we as the council need to, see it and make sure.
Change in the imagery of the mural.
Great.
Hey, Dan, are you aware that the Rec Park one got tagged?
Again?
Uh,
Rec Park. Paul Robeson?
Paul Robeson.
No, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, I just noticed it recently. It's not huge, but on the back side of the where the blue side of the wall was,
Is it a drawing of
Thanks,
a
Mike.
penis?
someone wrote some, some.
Somebody's drawing penises in murals around New Brunswick. I raised a couple already. And there's one I just left it. It's like whatever.
Was that on one of yours or just a random one?
Yeah, one of ours.
Hey. All right, Mike, thank you. I'll take a look at it. I'll see if one of our local guys can take care of it for us quickly.
But going back to the repairs part of things, it sounds like it kind of sounds like in most cases, the mural will change, right? No,
No.
you don't think
No,
so?
I don't think so. Like,
Okay.
so this one at Rec Park, Paul Robeson,
Because you
I
just
mean, literally you're painting over
the
the writing to get it back to,
okay.
get the red paint off and
So that's an example of it of just being repaired and not altered.
not altered.
Right, but and also, so I mean, to Mike's point, it's an important distinction. Like for any mural that we have that's not on a street or on a sidewalk, I can just send the artist and have them repair it, which we had to do in Archibald Park. There was a little bit of vandalism, not a significant amount, but the bigger issue was that Bob's gold paint was fading, so I had him do a refresh on it. So he didn't change anything, and then Amerson Orangen um, fixed an issue that happened with the Joyce Kilmer Park mural, and that was fixed. And then the clear coat made it easier to fix that one. But and so that wasn't changed. I think she added a flower or a tree or something like that. So it doesn't change the meaning of the mural, but I think she added an element to help deal with the damage, but or took the opportunity to add it, but that was unprompted. But like the only trigger point right now that creates an issue for anything in murals is the department is engineering, because they can just withhold a permit if you need it. So like again, just going back to the question as to if so it sounds like everyone's in agreement that if you're not making any large if you're not making any changes to the mural as was previously approved, it doesn't need to go through Arts Council again. So I'll just make sure that's clear in the narrative as to like there are like 0 elements are being changed, or we're using this opportunity to do another facilitation or whatever it might be to add another element, or because of the significance of the damage, if that is the case, the artist is choosing to do a new element or something like that. So I'll just make sure that that's clear on the front end. Okay, is that right? Does that sound like it comports with everyone's view? Cool, thank you.
All right. Oh, where'd Tracy go? Ah. All right. I listed a couple events. We got a lot happening in New Brunswick. This Friday is the Mexican Independence Day celebration and flag racing in front of the Middlesex County Building. 5 p.m. Care Spark Sustainable Health and Wellness Festival this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Alice Jennings Park. Saturday, September 14th is also 11 to 5 is the Roaring 20s Jazz Party at East Jersey Old Town. September 15th is the Mexican Independence Day Festival at Boyd Park. So much going on. Somebody's got some jazz going on. What? Jazz? What? This is when you put your shirt up.
Well, there's always jazz every Tuesday and Thursday. So, but September 28th, Saturday, right in front of the NB PAC, will be the second annual Middlesex County Jazz Festival. So we've got a great lineup. Hope to see you all out there. It'll be fun.
That's 1 to 5:30. Is that right?
1 to 5:30,
Okay.
correct.
Cool.
So is this the same event you organized with other cities before, Michael?
Yeah, so I mean, it is going to be Wednesday night in Edison, Thursday night in Carteret. Friday night we have off. Unfortunately, Perth Amboy pulled out. Saturday, you can come to New Brunswick, and when we end at 5:30, get on the train and go to Metuchen. There starts at 6. And it's great. We did it last year. It was so fun to take the train to Metuchen.
Nice.
It's so easy. And then Sunday we close in Woodbridge.
Awesome.
Michael, I have to admit that many moons ago, when there were this bunch of very crazed people thought they could bring jazz to New Brunswick, I kind of looked and went, that's a hell of a hill to climb. Really, I mean, you have my deepest respect, you and all the other people involved.
Thank you. Here
This
we are
is amazing.
years later. Can't believe
Great.
it's 15 years already.
Yeah. Crazy.
Awesome.
And Dan, you have
Yeah.
an event on Wednesday, October 16th?
That's right. Our next Central Jersey Artist Mingle is on Wednesday, October 16th from 5:30 to 9. It's become our biannual artist networking event. This one we're going to be having some producers from New York come down and talk a little bit about producing live theater and live performance, both in traditional and non-traditional spaces to attendees. And then we're going to be doing breakout sessions with attendees to do networking, as well as talk about resources and how do we continue to support the local artist community. So
Awesome.
free food and drinks. So you guys should come check out. They're always actually a lot of fun.
Awesome.
On
And I
a
know there's
a quick aside,
Yeah.
because this Friday is the Mexican flag raising, and we have someone who is being honored. So congratulations, Claudio.
Oh, thank you. It's happening.
It is.
Thank you.
You're gonna have a very special this time around. You're gonna have a very special acknowledgement that is gonna be provided by the state senate. So I can't be there on Friday, but
Wow.
a little gift for you.
Excellent. Thank you.
awesome. Okay.
Um,
And I know there's other events, but and this hasn't been announced yet, but we're Tracy, so I put it out there. Monday, October 28th, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. We're to be doing First Responders Day. It's First Responders Day. We'll be thanking and honoring first responders at Monument Square Park. More details to follow, but Tracy, you
We
want to add
talked
some more
about-
event? We talked about all these on the list, but do you want to add some more to talk? I
Um,
know there's
is it
more.
Roaring? Were the
Talked about
Roaring
Roaring 20s. Yep.
Okay, and then the Mexican Day Festival
Yep.
on Sunday.
Yep.
The MBDBAC coming up October 5th.
No, go ahead.
So the MBDBAC rally and march, and Claudia can actually speak more to this, will be on October 5th. October 6th, there's a sports exhibition opening at the East Jersey Old Town Village. On October 12th, there will be a health fair, tentative health fair. October 13th will be the Mercado celebrating Hub City Sounds Corazon Latino Festival. That should be really, all of the events are fun, but that one should be really fun.
And Oktoberfest, October 13th.
Oktoberfest, thank you, October 13th. I meant to ask Pam what day was that. So what time is that, Mike?
I'm gonna guess, and I don't know the exact time, but it's 12 to 5, 12 to 6.
Generally, right?
Okay, so it's the exact same time frame.
Yeah.
12 to 6, identical.
I think also Melissa has an Oktoberfest celebration in her courtyard.
Oh,
Same day?
Same day, the 12th. Yeah.
Okay, on the 12th, okay. And then also on this weekend is also the Hungarian Foundation anniversary,
all
right?
right, 70th anniversary. Yeah, right.
On Saturday, the 14th. And then also the opening for the Zimmerly is on the 14th. And then the Care Spark Festival is on the 14th.
Wow.
All on the almost on the same time frame. All right. So I know that everyone wants to be in New Brunswick and the county all weekend long. We always have something going on. And we thought there was going to be a lull. There'll be a lull in Thanksgiving weekend. All right.
Thanksgiving, there'll be nothing.
Yeah, but guys,
Oh, and Cassandra has an exhibition right now too. What were you going to say?
you know, I was complimenting Mike, but really, having been around now for 30 plus years, yes, I am ancient. It is amazing the difference that has come to New Brunswick in the arts, in culture. It is incredible.
Right. Right. Excellent.
Cassandra, you were gonna.
Just very briefly on the Mason Gross front, there is the first show of the season in the galleries. If any of you want to take a break on your lunch hour or something, it's called the Welcome Back Show, and it's featuring faculty and staff. So not for the first time, but rarely am I in a show, and I'm in this exhibition. I submitted a piece that I made in collaboration with my son. So if any of you want to stop by and see the show, I encourage you. And also, there on October 15th, there will be a reception at the Mexican consulate featuring Mexican American artists from Mason Groves that are on view in their cultural vault at the consulate. So that's the evening of October 15th.
Well, I saw the show. I think I missed your piece. I don't know what it was.
It was the assemblage across from the Gaza installation.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, it's definitely a cool show.
Mhm.
Some great videos too.
Thanks, Claudia.
Yeah, awesome.
Great.
There's also Crossroads Theater Company, and we'll send this to you soon, is doing a complimentary show called Homecoming on September 21st. I'll send you details about that. There's also a fall festival. The Nicaraguan flag raising, sorry, is on October 25th. There's a fall festival at East Jersey Old Town Village on the 26th. There's a Dia de Muertos and Zimili Ultimo Domingo on the 27th. And then, as Kelly mentioned, First Responders is on the 28th.
All right.
And to your point, Dr. Belvin, we all have a hand in like this bolster and this augment of arts and culture. So it's really cool when you can go to other places and just in earshot and say, oh, have you been to New Brunswick? Oh yeah. I've had that a couple times. It's just been quiet.
Tracy, can I ask that, because it's astounding to hear the list of all the announcements. There was I'm not sure if is it still in planning, the website that centralizes events, or is it
It's up. It's live. MiddlesexCountyCulture.com is the we'll have all these events.
okay? So
Yeah.
all can kind of find it if we're looking for them there. Okay, great, thank you.
And on to that point, Cassandra, on many of our websites, if you just go like City Market's website, you'll see a button to Middlesex County. So it'll take you places. Events, you can. Am I frozen? Am I frozen?
You were a little frozen, but we got what you were saying.
Okay.
All right. Well, anybody else have anything to add or share with the group?
We're good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did we speak about, because I've been in and out in the same meeting, did we speak about the Arts and Friends Connect at all?
No.
Okay, so
no, we
okay,
didn't.
we'll come
No.
back.
We're
So that could be
tabling
in-
that for now. Yeah.
That could be in November or December.
It's like a doomed event. It's the dates
Oh.
never work out.
It'll work out.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone.
Take care.
Great.
See everyone this weekend.
Yes.
Okay, guys,
Have a
take
nice
care
night.
all, please.
Kelly, see you in Asbury.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes, yes, yes. See ya.
Good meeting. Bye.